Welcome to the acceptance module. A quick recap on instructions. You will have 1 week to complete this 40-minute module on acceptance. You'll receive a recap email at the end of the module and we'll let you know when the next module is ready for completion. Let's get started. Acceptance. So what does that mean? Acceptance means being open to all your experiences while also choosing to move your life in the direction of your values. Let's expand on this a bit more. Experiences are the things you experience inside of you as well as outside of you. Internal experiences are your thoughts, feelings, memories, and sensations. External experiences are the things that happen in life, like a bad mark on an assignment, a relationship breakup, financial struggle, things you've done in the past, or the death of someone close. No one escapes these internal or external experiences. We all experience unhelpful thoughts, painful feelings, uncomfortable bodily sensations, relationship breakups, failures, disappointments, and losses. None of these things are avoidable. All humans suffer in this way. The problem is, we struggle and fight with our thoughts, feelings, and experiences as we don't want them and wish they didn't exist. But not wanting these things doesn't mean we can get rid of them. No one can wave a magic wand and make thoughts, feelings, or experiences go away. But when we struggle with having our thoughts, feelings, and experiences, it makes us suffer even more. This is because struggle intensifies the thought, feeling, or experience you are struggling with. The more you push it away, the quicker and stronger it bounces back. This sets up a vicious cycle that keeps us stuck and suffering. The truth is, we can't stop any of these thoughts, feelings, or experiences from happening. We can't change our past or remove thoughts and feelings about what we experience. It's part of life and part of being human. It's also true to say, no one likes painful thoughts, feelings, and experiences. No one says, gee, I hope I get anxious today. Acceptance is about realizing that not liking them does not make them go away. It can actually create more stress and more of the thoughts or feelings we're trying to avoid in the first place. We practice acceptance as it creates less suffering. Let's clarify here what acceptance is not. It's not tolerance or resignation. It's not giving in or giving up. It's not about gritting your teeth through it. And it's not about liking the thought or feeling. It's about accepting that there are some things in life you simply cannot change or control. Acceptance is about changing what you can change and accepting what you can't. Some better words to explain acceptance are willingness, opening up, making room, expansion, allow it to be there, breathe into it. But most of all, it's about dropping the struggle we have with difficult thoughts, feelings, and experiences. As we grow up, we often don't learn to be open, willing, and accepting of our thoughts, feelings, and experiences. Instead, we learn strategies that work in the short term, like pushing them down, trying to get rid of them, distracting ourselves, or trying not to think about them. The problem is they're not workable long-term strategies. They will always fail eventually. For example, if you get anxious when you speak in public, you can easily avoid anxiety by avoiding speaking in public. Voila, seems fixed. But at some point, the anxiety raises its ugly head again, like when you have to present in class. And it throws you back into that cycle of anxiety and avoidance. So trying to avoid it is not a workable long-term strategy. Let's do a quick experiment to show you what I mean. What I want you to do is close your eyes and do not think of an elephant in a pink tutu. No matter what, don't think of the ballerina elephant. Think of anything else. What happened when you tried that? I bet you could not erase the image of the silly elephant with the pink tutu out of your mind. This is exactly what happens with thoughts and feelings you want to erase or push down. In telling your mind you don't want to think about them, you actually end up thinking about them more. There is a rule that says, if you're not willing to have it, you'll have it more. This is what happens with thoughts or feelings you want to erase or push down. In telling your mind you don't want to think about them or feel them, you actually end up struggling with them and thinking about them more. Telling ourselves we don't want our thoughts, feelings, and experiences is what turns on the struggle with them, which can lead to more distress, anxiety, or overwhelm. You don't have control of your thoughts, feelings, or experiences, but you do have control over your struggle with them. Let's elaborate on this with a metaphor about quicksand. Imagine you're walking in the desert and suddenly you realize you've stepped in quicksand. What do you do now? You know quicksand is dangerous and you need to get out. So you start to struggle and kick and try to pull yourself out. You can't just lie there, right? But what happens? The struggling actually makes you sink faster. This metaphor also relates to our difficult thoughts, feelings, and experiences. The more we struggle against them, the more we sink into it and get stuck. We think it's helping to struggle, but in reality, it's hindering us. We use acceptance for two reasons. The first is accepting reality because it is what it is, and some things we cannot change or control. We accept in order to drop the struggle with it and ease our suffering. The other is, acceptance is a great launch pad from which to take effective action, such as acting on your values. Let me give you an example. Say you really want to go to a party and catch up with some friends you know will be there. The problem is, like many people, you sometimes get a little anxious around people you don't know. Your thoughts start saying things like, what if I arrive first and no one I know is there? What if someone I don't like is there? What if no one shows up? Now, if you value socializing and seeing your friends, you're going to want to go to this party. Why? Because you value seeing your friends. Doing it enriches your life in some way and makes it meaningful. In this instance, if you were able to make room for the anxiety and go to the party anyway, you would have practiced acceptance. You've probably done this many times before, as there are always situations where you have to do something you value but have unwanted feelings about. Like sit an exam when you're nervous, go to work when you aren't feeling 100%, do an oral presentation at uni, or go to a family gathering when you'd rather be with friends. Somehow in these situations, you manage to push ahead despite these uncomfortable feelings. This is because when you practice acceptance, it allows you to open up to pursuing the things that really matter to you, the things that are meaningful to you, the things that give your life purpose, direction, and pleasure. These things are called values, which we will talk about in Module 4. Acceptance allows us to connect to our values, even with unhelpful thoughts, painful feelings, or past experiences present. So not only does acceptance ease suffering, it also connects us with what matters in our lives. And this is exactly why we use it. This is the end of the first presentation. Please think about the concepts introduced in this presentation and see how they apply to you. Please move on to the next exercise when you are ready.
Created using Powtoon.